Hello everyone, my name is Keenan Soundwave, and welcome to another video about politics and whatnot. And sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. Been very busy. I got laid off and I had to find a new job, and then I've been working that new job. You know, it's been a while for me to upload any videos, so, you know, I'll do a nice short one here. Hopefully it won't go on for like 20-something minutes. But anyway, I was searching on the internet today, and of course Trevor was trending on Facebook. He seems to be getting a lot more popular than John Oliver, which is strange considering Trevor Noah's not really all that funny, but oh well. And he called Donald Trump a toddler or something. Here's what the Huffington Post said. Trevor Noah proves Donald Trump has the mind of a toddler. Oh, he proves it. Does he actually prove it with hard facts and evidence, or with poorly constructed jokes and criticism? I guess we're just going to have to find out, shall we? It first says, how does Donald Trump get away with saying outlandish things that aren't true? Well, because there's a lot of truth to what he is saying, even though he's being blunt and rude. He continues, such as claiming millions of people illegally voted on election day. Oh, what? What people illegally voted on election day? Oh, pfft. Oh, that couldn't possibly have happened. No, we gotta keep the popular vote for Hillary Clinton, so we can't possibly say that maybe millions of people illegally voted on election day. Newsflash, buddy, they did. There has been many studies done, and I know John Oliver tried to diminish when people say there's been studies done, but people have actually looked into it, and I don't remember the exact number, but it was over 4 million immigrants or illegal aliens that voted for Hillary Clinton, which could possibly mean that Hillary herself did not win the popular vote. And of course you can't lose that, otherwise people would not have much of an excuse to riot, other than, you know, they just lost on both accounts. It continues, Trevor Noah has a theory. The president-elect has the mind of a toddler. Oh, wow. When did you come up with that one? When you were just shitting on the toilet? I bet the most wonderful things just flow through your mind. Just every day when you're just sitting down thinking. Yep. And obviously the world's also a giant donut. Yeah. Yeah, great theory there, sir. I congratulate you. You need to win the Nobel Prize. He continues, it makes sense. Because I said it. No, I'm just kidding. He loves the same things toddlers do. Noah said on Tuesdays, The Daily Show, they love building things. Okay. Really? That's the first one you're going with? They building things? People who like building things like building things. What, I like building bionicles. Does that mean I'm a toddler? No, it means I like building bionicles. You know, a lot of things that you love as a child, you follow through with in your adulthood. Like kids who are really into bugs, or kids who are really into coloring. They may grow up and take that with them, become an artist or someone who studies insects. You generally find out what you like when you're younger, and that kind of bleeds into your adulthood, and this way you can maybe find a career in something that you love. Okay? People who love building things love to build things, not only because they love it, but also it makes them money. That's not a toddler thing. My God, Trevor, what? You're really grasping for straws here, aren't you? The next point is, they love attention. Really? Human beings themselves love attention. You yourself love attention. In fact, you being, quote-unquote, a comedian, comedians thrive and feed off of attention. In fact, without attention, without people sharing your videos and giving you so much attention, everything would die. So yes, everybody, no matter how old you are, need attention. And also mostly because we're human beings. We're very social creatures. If we don't have attention for a long period of time, if we don't have someone saying hi to us for a long period of time, we tend to go insane because we need someone to talk to. So everybody loves attention, okay? That's not just a toddler thing. Not to mention, toddlers not only love attention, they actually need it. It's kind of a necessity, considering they can't do shit by themselves. Yeah, nice try there. And the next point. they're always grabbing things they're not supposed to. Oh, of course. Of course. Always grabbing things they're not supposed to. If you actually hear him in the entirety of that, I believe, and I'm slightly paraphrasing here, I believe he said, when you're rich, like me, women tend to let you do whatever you want to them. Like grab them by the pussy, as mean, and it's kind of odd how kind of the odd way that he said it. He's not wrong. There are gold diggers that will let rich people do whatever they want to them. So if he grabbed any pussy at all, which I don't know how you would grab a pussy. I guess you would have to kind of put both your fingers in like a bowling ball. I don't know. If he grabbed anything, it was with permission because they let him because they wanted his money. So obviously he was talking about gold diggers. I mean, this is not hard to deconstruct, But that's kind of what the left does, They just love to take quotes from things, completely twist them around, take them out of context, completely diminish everything that thing is saying, just because there's one little word in there that doesn't suit right with them, so that means everything in it's bad because, oh my gosh, there's that one little quote that they just love to take out of context. Oh my gosh. Anyway, enough of that sarcasm. Then he goes on to say, or the article goes on to say, once the media understands Trump's toddler mind, Noah says, fact-checking his untrue statements will become easier. Really? No, I think it's hard to fact-check his untrue statements because you guys love to throw around your biases as fact, while so many others are throwing around facts because they are fact. You can't fact-check someone who is saying the truth. You have to grasp for straws. See, you haven't been able to fact-check him because he's actually telling the truth on a lot of things. So, what do? You have to come up with intellectually lazy things. You basically take your list of things that everybody is, if they don't agree with me, such as homophobic, misogynistic, racist. Oh, they're everything. They're all the ists, they're all the isms, they're all the everything. You don't have any argument. You never have had any argument. You never do fact-check anything. All you do is call people names. That ain't fact-checking. All you're doing is just pulling random words out of a hat. And also, what do you mean fact-checking his untrue statements will become easier? The media has been trying to deconstruct him for this entire year and have failed because they have been proven time and time again that even if they do fact-check, they completely take a lot of things out. No one trusts the media anymore because they've been proven time and time again that they lie. The media lies. So regardless of whether they fact-check his untrue statements, no one's going to listen to them because their validity has been compromised, because they're willing to put their biases forward and not the facts. They're willing to put feelings, clickbait, and money-making articles forward and not the facts, which is why people are going over to people like Steven Crowder or Paul Joseph Watson or Sargon of Akkad, because you guys have screwed up, and you're still screwing up willingly. He continues to say, you don't argue with a child if you want to win. You don't argue with a child at all because they don't know anything. I mean, they're very self-centric. You can't really argue with a child. They don't know any better. They're ignorant. You just ask them to elaborate. Oh, what, like you do? And then while the person on your show is elaborating their point, you interrupt them with some stupid joke, like that colorblind joke that you did with Tommy Lauren. Yeah, people can't elaborate when you keep interrupting them, which is probably why you don't know anything. It's because you don't let people elaborate. You elaborate this for me, and then as soon as they get a word out of their mouth, it's like, oh, well, that's not right, that's wrong. And I'm just like, you didn't even let them finish. I mean, sweet Jesus. Not to mention, you've been ignoring a lot of, the reason Donald Trump won is because you suck at debating, because you don't know how to argue. It's not the fact that, oh, let's try this different strategy. If we just ignore them, if we don't argue with them, they won't win. No, they're going to win because they're adults, and because they had better and more sound arguments than you. Okay, you putting Donald Trump down as a toddler is not going to change anything. Noah said, or continuing on, Noah said that Trump will never admit he's wrong about anything, but that isn't the point. Well, then what is the point, Noah? Here's a question: what was the whole point of bringing that up? In fact, if we look back, and I had to think about this too. Why did Donald Trump constantly change his mind when he was just the presidential candidate of the GOP? Why did Donald Trump keep changing his mind the entire year when he was debating? Because he wasn't in politics. He learned new information and had to keep changing his mind. And while he didn't say it outright, that in a way is him saying and admitting that he was wrong. And how do you admit that you're wrong? You change your point of view. You look at the facts, and you change your opinions based on those facts. And that's what Donald Trump did. Someone told him, oh no, that's wrong, it's actually this, and then he changed his mind. So in a way, he kind of admitted that he was wrong during a lot of the campaign. But there's a lot of things that he's not wrong about. And you calling him a toddler is not going to make him wrong at all. All it is just it's kind of like what John Oliver did, trying to call him Drumpf. It's just like, really? So you have no real sound arguments against him. You have to resort to calling him a name. Oh, great. Yeah, that's really intellectually stimulating right there. And for the last couple sentences on here, the point is to gently demoralize the toddler and smother his tantrums, he said. And as a bonus, stop him from delegitimizing the press. Wow. Wow, you kind of threw that out the window. You couldn't even keep up similarities with the toddler for like the last two sentences. But anyway, deconstructing those 2 points. You don't demoralize a toddler because a toddler doesn't have a gray area. They're self-centric. They don't know better. Okay, when you're talking to a child, like for example, say if your child takes a ball away from another child, and then that child cries, the child who took the ball, your child who took the ball away from the other one, is thinking to himself, "Why are you sad? I now have the ball." You know, they're thinking like that. They're like, you shouldn't be sad because I'm happy because now I have the ball. So how do you try and get into a toddler's mind and tell them, hey, no, you took the ball from him? Well, you go up to him, and you talk to him in a way that he understands. You kind of have to talk in his language and say, look, how would you feel, personally, if I just took the ball away from you? You wouldn't feel very good, would you? And, of course, the child would either throw a fit, or he would maybe understand, and he'd be like, oh, that doesn't feel too good. And you know, it's a way for him to understand because he doesn't have the mental capacity to really understand other people's feelings. And smother his tantrums, well, Trevor, why don't you elaborate with us? Why don't you elaborate? You know, that's kind of vague. Smother his tantrums. How do you do that? How do you smother this supposed toddler's tantrums? Oh, that's right. You just said ignore him, even though he's a fully grown adult that's about to take office, of course. Of course. And for the next point, the press, Donald Trump did not delegitimize the press. He has merely called them out for their bullshit, along with so many other people before him. The press, through their clickbait articles and their bad journalism, has delegitimized themselves. The press has no one to blame but themselves because they put money first over journalistic integrity. And that's why, like, 94% of America does not even trust the press and gets their news from people like Steven Crowder or Paul Joseph Watson or Sargon of Akkad or Ben Shapiro or Milo Yiannopoulos or many of those. Anyway, in conclusion, if anything is to be said about this, it's that the opposite is true. Trump, while he is narcissistic, I can give you that one. I mean, he's not perfect, and we should hold his feet to the fire if he does wrong. After all, he is going to be our president, and me personally, I did vote for him, so we should hold his feet to the fire if he's getting out of line. But even though he's a bit narcissistic, he is kind of narcissistic, he's not a toddler. If anything, people like you, Trevor, and John Oliver, and Bill Maher have proven to be more self-centric than anybody. Anytime anybody even utters a word of something that you don't agree with, you go crazy. You don't have a reasonable discussion. You throw tantrum and just throw shit jokes at people and shit comparisons because you don't have anything of usefulness to say. All you do is spout out nonsense. So if anything, it seems like you and your kind act more like toddlers than anyone else. And that's not everybody on the left. It's just people who are like Trevor Noah or John Oliver. Because there's people on the left that I can agree with, like Shoe on Head or Sargon of Akkad, and Dave Rubin. Actually, what am I saying? I actually lean more towards the left. I'm not even a conservative, so, you know, it does make me, I do feel, in a way, responsible for voicing my opinion on some matters like these for people who are basically degrading the side that I've aligned myself with so many years, which I don't even align myself with any side. I just kind of agree more with left stuff, but anyway, guys. Well, guys, I think it's time for me
to roll out. And I will see you guys in the next video.
Goodbye. God, I'm bad with outros.
And as I try